Act 3 The Mole Chapter 18. Days later. Kaido point of view. Sitting in the living room, staring at my own hand, intensely, as I open and close my fingers. Feeling out. Trying to determine if what's been happening these last few days, was the return of my quirk or not. I seem to only be able to pull my quirk out from within me when I need it. Or get emotional. But that's odd. Because when I had it originally, I could use it at will. I'd never really given it much thought, when I was able to sense Bourbon's intentions and emotions. And I didn't stop to think about it when I activated Dad's strength enhancer quirks the other day either. Because I was too angry and caught in the moment to realize till later. And then when I felt use emotions at lunch the other day, from across the lunchroom. But what's odd is it's not on command like it was before. It's spotty. Like it's creeping up on me in short flashes of hope. As though it's. If it's truly back, then, if I focus really hard, then I should be able to. I sit back on the couch, thinking, focusing, trying my hardest to pull it out from within me, to find out the truth. If it's only the embers of what remained from before, then nothing will happen, and if it's truly returned, then. I fall into thought, coming into a conversation I had with Rumi after school yesterday, after you got picked up, and we waited outside for her parents to get her. Hey Kaido. Can I ask you something? I looked curiously at her. Sure. What's up? I was just wondering, when we kissed the other day. Was that your first time? I grew narrow eyes, and averted my gaze, scratching the side of my face with a finger, expressing embarrassment when I answered. Yeah. Why? Was it bad? She giggled, rubbing the side of her neck, looking right at me with this devious expression. Well, I could certainly tell that you weren't used to it. I let out a deep sigh. Lowering my hand, shrugging my shoulders as I spoke. Hey. Sorry if this sort of comes out of left field to you. But. Why was it that you started chasing me? She huffed with amusement to the question, bringing a hand up, and brushing hair from in front her, to behind her ear as she leant forwards in front of me, so as to gain my full attention. It worked. I think it was the fact, that of all the guys in middle school, you were the first to compliment me on how I act and present myself. Not because of my looks or how cute I seemed, you looked for more than just a glance, and that drew me in. Of course, I didn't truly start chasing you until you joined the baseball team. But it did plant the seeds. And what about you? What made you start liking me? I averted my gaze, embarrassed to admit the truth, but she was owed that much, so I gave it to her. Tell me. Did you ever notice? No matter how terrible things seem to be. You smiled through it. Rather we were getting into fist fights on school grounds, getting pummeled by the opposing team in baseball, or about to walk into class for a massive test. Nothing wavered that smile. And it was that smile, that confidence that nothing could stop you, that smile that showed no fear to anything, and that feeling you gave off when things got down, that we could always get back up. Like the idea that failure could come, was never even an afterthought to you. I watched as you accomplished so many things. And I was attracted to it. I wanted to be a part of whatever drove you forwards. So that I could bask in it and figure out my own way. When things got rough back home, when it felt like the world was falling apart around me, you stayed there with me, as though you were some kind of pillar, keeping the roof of life from crushing me. You kept pushing me, somehow you just seemed to always know that I had more to give than I was letting myself exert. That somehow, I could overcome anything. And you weren't scared to let me know it, in your actions. It was as though you never picked me up when I fell, because you wanted to make sure that nothing ever knocked me back down. Her smile became a little more pronounced, her tail wiggled, and her ears stood straight up as she brushed more hair behind her ear. Speaking in a tone of flattery. And here I thought you just liked rabbits, she teased. I began to smile as her parents' car came into view down the road. I close my eyes, speaking in a cocky tone. Nah. I've always been more into tigers, than I was bunnies growing up. I reopened my eyes, turning towards her as I continued. So, it's a good thing I found my tiger while I was young, my dear tiger bunny. She blushed while she stood up, walking in front of me as she giggled. Of all the things you've said, since we've met, that might be the cringiest. But you know what? Reaching up, wrapping her arms over my shoulders, interlocking her fingers behind my head. I still liked it, stealing a kiss from my lips, before her parents' car stopped in front of us and the sidewalk. Breaking the kiss as quick as it had came, she turned waving as she reached the car. I'll see you Monday, Kaido. Do try to stay out of trouble until then. K. I blush with heat emanating from my glowing cheeks as I stared, raising and waving a hand awkwardly. Yeah, see you Monday. Be careful, looking back as she stepped into the car, lips syncing the words, but not saying them aloud. I love you. Snapping out of my mind, thoughts, and memories. I return to the present, my heart thumping out of my chest. My senses have gone hypersensitive, eyesight just doubled. I can notice everything in the corners of my vision with extreme accuracy. Things in the corner of vision aren't blurry. My hearing jumped as well. I can hear conversations in different apartments in different rooms besides, above, below, and in the hallways. My legs ache and feel strained, as they flex and the muscle fibers inside them flex and twitch, having grown. My sense of smell jumped from just about average to, I can smell mom's perfume from in here. And she hasn't even came in here wearing it yet. I feel, as my heart thumps, and I hold my chest, blushing hard, having relived the moment, that was fresh in my head. A wiggling sensation on my lower back, something furry and fuzzy beneath my shirt. I pant heavily to accommodate my high heart rate. Grabbing and lifting my phone from the end table. Looking in the reflection of the glass with the phone screen off and black. I grow a ignorant smile as I began to stand up, shouting as I thrusted a fist in the air, overly excited by the fact. Fuck yeah. My quirk is back, baby. I boom loudly. Hell, the entire apartment complex may have heard me as I shouted. Punching the air over and over again as I pranced around the room. Using Rumi's rabbit quirk to jump around the room rapidly. Testing out my quirk's ability to mimic and copy the quirks of those I have a high affinity for. My mother exited her room down the hallway and spoke as she exited with a sense of interest and confusion. What was that, sweetie? Finishing before catching a glimpse of me landing feet first on a wall leading into the hallway and jumping off it. Spotting that I had grown a pair of white bunny ears, and a bunny tail somehow. Laughing with joy as I answered her, who now sprinted down the hallway to confirm what she had saw. I got my chi quirk back. I announced, landing in a slide atop the ground to a stop in front the coffee table and couch. Kicking the air rapidly with one leg, creating miniature pressure waves with my kicks, smaller than the ones Rumi can produce, but still powerful. She stopped just out of the hallway and stared at me in awe. The truth was written on my body. How else would I have the rifle quirk and the rabbit quirk as well right now? It's true. Kaido. Kaido, your quirk is back. She cheered, running over to me. Now. I had my clarity. Now, I could feel emotions. The intentions of others again. Now, I could feel the chi quirk inside of me, existing, festering, lingering inside of me once again. And in that instance, I was whole again, and now my real hero story can begin. I am Kaina Tsutsumi, and this is my story, on how I became the greatest hero in the world. The hero this city, this country, and this world needs the most. I will surpass all might, I will defeat all for one, and I will become the symbol of hope. Because that is what I am going to become. When I grow up, I will become a hero. End of chapter 18.